Yeah, I have left off a small topic in fluid mechanics in the previous classes. So in today's class, I will be finishing off that part. Okay. So the topic is rotating fluids. So this is what I am going to do in today's class. Okay. So now just hold on. Let me set the space. Yes. So now if you take previously accelerating fluids, if you have a container like this, when you are accelerating this container with some acceleration A, the fluid has actually got slanted in the container, but the fluid is at rest with respect to container. So this is what we have seen, and in one of the cases we have seen that this fluid is accelerating upwards. In another case the fluid is accelerating downwards. This is what we have seen in the previous lectures. Now in this lecture, what is that I am going to do is, okay, I will be taking a container. Okay, so in that container or vessel, okay, so what is that I will do is I will fill it with liquid. Let us say you have some cylindrical container like this, and I am filling some liquid into this container, and what is that I am doing is I am rotating this container with some angular velocity omega in, say, in some clockwise or anti-clockwise direction like this. Okay, so basically what is that you have a container, and in that container you have liquid. Okay, now initially if the liquid is like this, okay, filled, now when you start giving angular velocity, this liquid will take a different shape. In fact, the liquid will take some kind of paraboloidal shape like this. Okay, so what is my target is, because of the rotation of the liquid, some of the liquid will actually spill out here. So what is the volume that is spilling out? What is the equation of this surface? What is the base, okay, minimum height that you have here? What is the maximum height? All these things I am supposed to calculate. Okay, so this is what we study as one of the important cases in the rotating fluids. Next, your another important case that you have is, you will have a tube like this, okay, cylindrical tube or some rod, okay, not rod, cylindrical tube. Now what is that I am going to do is, I am going to rotate this cylindrical rod or tube with some angular velocity omega. Now inside this there will be liquid. Okay, so in this case, what is the pressure difference between this end and this end, or any 2 points? Okay, that is what I am supposed to calculate. Okay, most of the questions they will be related to these situations. Okay, mostly calculation of, in these cases you are supposed to calculate, okay, the target of all these questions is calculation of angular velocity omega and height, okay, that too your minimum value, maximum value, okay, in this situation. And in this situation your target is calculation of omega pressure difference delta P, or at some point if pressure is known, at some other point some pressure, okay, or if length of the tube is mentioned, what could be the length. Okay, so by rotating fluids I mean this part, okay, these values, trying to calculate these values, and in fact equation of surface also, okay, equation of surface here, then volume spilling out and present, okay, volume spilling out and volume present in the container. Okay, So all these things I need to calculate from this given information, whatever, some radius of base or area of cross section, all these things will be given and we are supposed to calculate these things. Okay, so hope you got the outline of what is happening here. Okay, now what is that I am going to do is I am going to calculate each of these values in this scenario and in this scenario, and we will do some basic level problems. Okay, only this part I have left in fluid dynamics part. Okay, in some books it will be in fluid statics. Okay, I will upload in both. Okay, whenever you are free, just have a look. Okay, right. So now let us start with this situation. Okay, so what is initially given, let me explain first, and I will try to derive different quantities from that part. Now observe carefully. So what is my situation is, you have a container like this, alright. Inside this container I am filling it with liquid up to a height, let us say it is some y0. Okay, what is y0? Height of the liquid before rotation starts. Okay, so you have the liquid like this and rotation did not start yet. Okay, so let us say this radius is r. Okay, y0 is initial height. Now what is that I am doing is, I have started to rotate this cylindrical vessel or container. So once I start rotating this cylindrical vessel or container, what will happen, I will elaborate first. So what will happen is, your liquid will start taking this kind of shape after giving some angular velocity omega. This is what is going to happen. Okay, now in this scenario you are supposed to calculate the maximum height of the liquid surface, minimum height of the liquid surface. Okay, these are the values that you are supposed to calculate, and let us see how we are going to calculate it. Okay, so now first let us say this is your minimum height, y min. Okay, because of the rotation of the liquid, particles automatically, because of the angular velocity and inertial properties, it will take the shape like this. Now I will elaborate with force and all, I will explain, don't worry. And this part is your y max. Okay, that is your maximum height, because of the initially you have liquid up to a liquid column up to a height of y0. Later what is happening is, because of the rotation, it will take this kind of paraboloidal shape, and in that paraboloidal shape you have minimum height of y min, maximum height of y max. Okay, now this part, omega, all these things, everything we will interrelate. Okay, now what I will do is, first I will try to derive an important thing, that is equation of this surface. Okay, so first part that I am going to derive is equation of paraboloidal surface. So what is the equation of this surface? Okay, so what I will do is, I will take reference frame. Okay, this I will take it as some origin 0, 0, let us say I am taking it. Now after taking this as your origin, okay, if I stand here, okay, with respect to a person on ground frame, a particle here, okay, if you take a small particle dm, with respect to ground frame, your dm will go in a circle, okay, with respect to ground frame, this particle will go in a circle. With respect to reference frame of this liquid, this particle will be at rest, okay. So what I will do is, I will consider reference frame of container. So with respect to container, okay, dm particle is at rest. Small mass dm particle will be at rest, okay. From ground frame, dm will be going in a circle. It will be accelerating with centripetal acceleration a equal to some x omega square. But with respect to rotating reference frame, okay, this point or particle which is at some height x comma y like this, okay, it is going to be at rest. So now if you take the figure here again, if you take this point as 0 comma 0, this will be some x comma y. Now on this particle which is at dm, which is having mass dm, on this particle there will be two forces. One is gravitational force dm into g. Other is, because you are writing the equation with respect to accelerating reference frame, you have to keep pseudo force, that is centrifugal force. Centripetal force will be directed towards center, and you will always keep centripetal force if you are writing equations with respect to ground frame. Now here you are writing these equations with respect to accelerating reference frame. So with respect to accelerating reference frame, your pseudo force is dm into x omega square. You will write your centripetal acceleration a equal to r omega square, right? Exactly in a similar way, this body is going in a circle of radius x. Okay. Now once you get this, okay, there is one more force, okay, on this liquid, that is some reaction force. It will be some r in this direction. Okay, let us say this angle is theta. Okay, now from this it is pretty clear that, okay, if this angle is theta, if you draw a tangent to the curve, okay, this tangent will will be, this is your tangential part. This angle, if it is theta, this will become theta. This is 90 minus theta. This angle is theta. Okay, tangent will form an angle of theta with the horizontal. Now what will I do? I will tell you here. So this body, okay, this particle that you are taking on the edge, there is r cos theta acting this way, which is being balanced with dm into g. There is r sin theta acting this way, and it is actually getting balanced with dm into x omega square. Okay, so basically with respect to this reference frame, this particle is at rest because of three forces: r, dm into g and centrifugal force. Okay, you will always keep centrifugal force with respect to accelerating reference frame. So now let us come back. So solving these equations, okay, in equilibrium, obviously your net force is 0. So in equilibrium, when net force is becoming 0, you can write r sin theta is equal to dm into x omega square, and in the vertical direction r cos theta is equal to dm into g. Okay, dividing these two equations, okay, this is in the horizontal direction, this is in the vertical direction. I am making net force to be 0 in the horizontal and vertical directions. So if I do that, sin theta by cos theta is how much? It is equal to tan theta. Tan theta is equal to x omega square by g. Now what is tan theta? Slope of tangent, right? Tan of angle with x axis will give you slope of tangent. So slope of tangent geometrically it is given by what? Dy by dx. Okay, in maths dy by dx is tan theta, slope of tangent. So your dy by dx is equal to x omega square by g. So simplifying this equation, I can write dy is equal to x omega square by g, integration on both sides, x omega square by g into dx, integrating on both sides at x equal to 0. You can write, if you have y min, you will write y min. If it is 0, you can just simply write 0. At x equal to x, let us say it is some y. Okay, so you will get y is equal to x square omega square by 2g. So what is your equation of surface means? Your equation of this surface is a parabola. Okay, if you have y equal to some ax square format, it is the equation of parabola. So this curve will have the equation of parabola. Okay, and it is like this. Okay, if you are assuming this to be origin. Okay, now slight modification I will do it, but those who want to copy this, pause the video clip, copy it down. Okay, right? Now if this is not origin, okay, if it is not origin, okay, nothing else will change. Your coordinates will become 0 comma, if it is a minimum point, instead of origin you can write it as 0 comma y min, if you take this as your 0 comma 0. Okay, hope you have copied the previous content. So if you write 0 comma y min here, then your limits, instead of 0 you will have y min here. So what is this equation going to get converted is y minus y min is equal to x square omega square by 2g. Okay, so if you are taking that point as origin, it is y equal to x square omega square by 2g. If it is some y minimum height, it is y equal to y min plus x square omega square by 2g. Okay, so hope you have understood this. Okay, no calculation change, nothing else will change. It will become like this. Okay, so conclusion of the whole story. Okay, let me erase this and write down that conclusion. So after all this, okay, if you consider this as your origin 0 comma 0, okay, some point, if this is your minimum height, that is height at the center, as long as you keep going radially outwards, height will increase. So conclusion of what I have explained is, first important relation that I want you to remember is, your height y is minimum height plus omega square x square by 2g. Okay, right? It will be like this. If nothing is mentioned or anything is not mentioned about minimum height, you can consider it to be 0, or that is your choice. Okay, mostly he will give you the values. Next important point is, okay, maximum value of y occurs when, okay, when x is maximum, okay, that is your maximum value of x is equal to r. Okay, you cannot increase your x coordinate beyond r, because if x increases by r, what will happen? Liquid will go out of the container. Okay, then that paraboloidal shape will not be maintained at all. Okay, so hope you have understood what I am trying to explain here. Okay, so what is my point? Your x, if it is equal to r, it will be maximum. If it is greater, then liquid will start spilling out. So your y max is, okay, y min plus r square, okay, omega square r square by 2g. Okay, this is another important relation. Okay, so general equation is this first equation that I want you to remember, and this is your second equation. Okay, so what is that final conclusion? If you initially have some liquid of height y naught like this, because of the rotation of the liquid, some of the liquid, your liquid will take paraboloidal shape. So your y max will be here till here, it is greater than y naught. Y min is less than, okay, in fact your y naught will be in between. I will show that, I will prove that to you. But okay, what is my point is, your curve that you have here will take this equation of y equal to y min plus omega square x square by 2g, and your maximum height that is present for the liquid inside the container is minimum y min plus omega square r square by 2g. Okay, information will be given in the question of how to calculate these things, don't worry. Okay, but try to get these two things. Okay, next, right, this is your first situation. Okay, remember these two ideas. Okay, next is your calculation of volume of paraboloid. Okay, so because of the rotation of liquid, what is happening is, inside the container your liquid is taking this shape. Your container, it is much big. This is your omega. Radius, anyhow it is r, cylindrical container. Okay, so we know that, okay, what is that we know that? If you are taking this portion, okay, what is my target is, I am trying to calculate that volume of paraboloid. Okay, target is, okay, what is my target? What is that I am going to do? I am going to do calculation of volume of paraboloid. What will I get by doing this means, I can calculate how much liquid has spilled out of this container, how much liquid is present, with what angular velocity can I rotate for the liquid not to spill out, different things I can calculate. Okay, but first I need to calculate this shaded portion volume. Okay, so for this you can just simply, previously you can write, you can keep the heading as equation of paraboloid. Now I will keep my heading as volume of paraboloid. Okay, I am going to calculate the volume of paraboloid. Okay, so now observe carefully. I will take this to be my origin. In such a case, my equation is y equal to omega square x square by 2g. Okay, I am trying to calculate only volume of this portion only. Okay, because if I know y min, I can calculate other things as well, but for now let me take only this part. Now if I take a small strip here at a distance x with the dx like this, okay, now this small strip that you take in three-dimensional space, it will be like this. Okay, this will be a cylindrical strip like this. Okay, whose this height is y, this distance is x, width is dx. I am taking a small peel off layer of the volume. Okay, so if I cut it and take it out, okay, if I cut it and take it out, I will get the peel off layer like this. This peel off layer will have a height y. Okay, this y keeps changing. This distance is x, width is dx like this. Okay, x and dx. Now for this small peel off layer, if I define my small volume dV, if I integrate this small volume, I am going to get the total volume. Okay, so out of this peel off layer, I will cut it and take it out. So if I cut it and stretch it, okay, if I cut it and stretch it, what will happen is you will get a sheet like this. If you cut that cylinder, okay, and roll it on the floor like this, this portion is curved surface area indirectly. Okay, so this area will be, curved surface area is 2 pi RH, right? So here in place of R you have x, in place of h you have y. Curved surface area of cylinder is 2 pi RH, so that will give me 2 pi xy. Okay, and this thickness is dh. Okay, that is dx. Here it is dx. Okay, so small volume dV. For these kind of figures, your volume is area of base into height. Okay, so area of base into height is, in this case, 2 pi xy times dx. Okay, your volume is area of base into height, so that is 2 pi xy into dx. Now your total volume V total is integral of dV, that is equal to integral of 2 pi xy dx. From where to where means your x is varying from x equal to 0 to x equal to r like this. Okay. Now here observe carefully, what is the equation of y? Omega square x square by 2g. So I will take this y and substitute in this equation. So if I do that, so this will give me 2 pi x times, what is y means? Omega square x square by 2g into dx, from x equal to 0 to x equal to r. Your total volume of paraboloid is, constants I will take it out of the integral, 2 will cancel off, pi omega square by g times integral of x cube dx from x equal to 0 to x equal to r. What is integral of x cube? X power n, integral of x power n is x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So this will give you pi omega square g by, okay, pi omega square by g times x power 4 by 4 from 0 to r. That will give you your total volume V total is pi omega square r power 4 by 4. Now what to do with this, I will tell you. Okay, so I will rearrange this, but first you can pause the video clip, copy all this content. Okay, I am going to rearrange this equation into a different form. Okay, so come on, pause the video clip and then you just simply copy all this stuff. Okay, right? I will continue, not to waste my time. Okay, so hope you have understood this. If you have any doubts, just let me know. You can type in the comments. So finally, what is that I got is, oh, unnecessarily I have erased the original figure. I need it. This is your maximum height. this is your minimum height. Container is much bigger. You have original height of the liquid, some, why not like this? And we have seen that this shaded portion's volume, okay, shaded portion's volume, this volume is what I am talking of, okay. What is that we got just now? Volume of paraboloid is pi omega square r power 4 by 4. Okay, right? So you will be getting it as y omega square power r power 4, okay, by g is there of course, okay, by 4g, okay. So you are getting as this much. Now I will rearrange, because the base is of cylindrical shape, your base area is pi r square. So I will rearrange it. I will write pi r square by 2 times omega square r square by 2g, okay, pi r square by 2 times omega square r square by 2g, okay. I can write it, pi omega square r power 4 can be rearranged and written like this. Now observe carefully. Previously okay, from the starting of the lecture, y max is y min plus omega square r square by 2g. This is what I have got. Your volume of paraboloid is, okay, if you observe carefully, what is your omega square r square by 2g means? It is y max minus y min, right? So this part is y max minus y min. So it is pi r square times y max minus y min, okay, pi r square by 2 times this much. So your volume of paraboloid is half this cylinder. If you take, okay, this portion of cylinder out of y max, if you subtract this y min, okay, if I keep this cylinder, if you are taking, this cylinder's volume is, okay, area of base into height of the cylinder is y max minus y min. So it is half of volume of, okay, paraboloidal cylinder, okay. So whatever cylinder that this paraboloid is forming, out of that half of the volume, okay, because your area of base into height is volume. So this cylindrical portions liquid, half of the content, okay, right? So any doubts, just please let me know, okay. So you are going to get this volume as, okay, this much, okay. Your volume of paraboloid is half the volume of cylindrical portion in which that parabola is present, okay, right? Now hope there are no doubts, okay, and you have understood everything, okay. Now we will do some problems, don't worry. Next, another important part is, okay, volume is, okay, initial volume is, okay, volume up to height y min plus volume of paraboloid. Right? Because the liquid is not yet spilling out. Okay, the total volume of that is liquid that is present initially, I told you initially the liquid is present up to a height of y naught. So your total volume of liquid that you have here is, okay, initial volume is pi r square into y naught, area of base into height, that is equal to, because of the rotation, this from this y naught I told you your height will decrease and it will come to y min. So that will become pi r square into y min plus, okay, this is your volume up to height y min plus this pink color portion of paraboloid. So that pink color portion volume is, just now we have seen it is half of, okay, pi r square by 2 times y max minus y min. Pi r square will cancel off. So what is it you are going to get? Y is equal to y min plus y max minus y min by 2. If you simplify this further, you are going to get y is equal to, okay, y max plus y min by 2. That means your original height will be in between this minimum height and maximum height, because you have got this relation y naught is equal to y max plus y min by 2. So that means your original height is, okay, average of this minimum height and maximum height. Okay, so with these relations you can solve almost any problem. Okay, so let us directly enter into some basic problems. Okay, first you copy this. I'll just quickly write down the summary of what I have explained so far. Okay, so I'll erase it. So the conclusion is, okay, I have derived all the relations. So conclusion, let us write. You have a cylinder inside this up to height liquid, okay, y naught is there. Now you have started rotation, because of which your liquid, it takes the paraboloidal shape. So big container, it is rotating with omega. Okay, now when it is rotating like this, minimum height is y min, that is at the base. When x is equal to r, you will have y max. Okay, after rotation starts, you will have minimum and maximum. Initially it is only y naught. Okay, now what are the relations that I have derived is, okay, tan theta is equal to, okay, for this scenario, first tan theta is equal to x omega square by g. Then your equation is y equal to y min plus, okay, y min plus x square omega square by 2g. Okay, this is for general point. Okay, y min occurs at x equal to 0, y min occurs at x equal to 0. Okay, then you will have maximum height y max, that is equal to, it occurs at when x is equal to r, y min plus r square omega square by 2g. Your y max occurs at x equal to R. Okay, when x keeps increasing, highest possible value of x is R. So your maximum height is this much. Then this paraboloidal shape that you are taking, this shaded portion is going to give you volume of paraboloid. Okay, one more relation I forgot. Y naught is equal to maximum height plus minimum height by 2. Okay, then your volume of paraboloid is, okay, I need okay, your fifth important relation is your volume of paraboloid is, okay, you can write it as half of volume of cylindrical portion. Okay, which is half of that cylindrical portion's volume. That means from here to here, between these 2 points, this height h cylinder. But what is h? Y max minus y min. So area of base pi r square times h is y max minus y min. You can write it this way also. Okay, with these relations you can solve any problem that is asked. Okay, copy it down directly. Let's jump into some basic questions. Okay, so what is your first question is okay, your first question is, I hope you have copied down the entire summary. So the question is like this: you have a container, you have some angular velocity omega. Okay, now what is happening is you have filled the liquid up to height h initially before rotation starts. Okay, now what is your question is, let us keep this as small h. Okay, total height of container is capital H. Okay, initial height is, okay, small h, liquid height. Okay, now the question is like this: when liquid or container, okay, when liquid container starts rotating, okay, as the liquid, okay, as the liquid starts touching the base, okay, as the liquid starts touching the base, it spills simultaneously, it spills, okay, it just spills. You can say the liquid just spills. Question is, find small h comma omega each in terms of capital H. Okay, so what are given in the question means only capital H is given. Okay, what is that you are supposed to find out is small h and omega. Assume that radius of container is given. Okay, you are supposed to find out height and angular velocity. Acceleration due to gravity is also given, you assume, and then do the calculation. Okay, try it for a minute, then I will explain the solution. Okay, come on, try it sincerely. 1 minute time. It's not tough, sincerity is required. Alright, so I will start explaining. Very simple. We know that your y max is equal to y1 plus omega square r square by 2g. Now, when liquid starts touching the bottom, okay, because of the paraboloidal shape, when it is touching the base, obviously minimum height is 0. So, y min is 0. At this point of time, your maximum height is h, because when liquid reaches the container height, then only it will start spilling out. So your y max is equal to h. So your capital H is equal to omega square r square by 2g. From here, what is omega? You can give it. Okay, so your omega value is 2gh under root 2gh by r square. Okay, direct. Okay, because it is very clearly mentioned, when the liquid container starts rotating, as liquid starts touching the base, it just spills. So when the minimum height is coming to the bottom, it is starting to spill out. Okay, next, second thing what is asked is find h in terms of capital H. We know that y naught is equal to y max plus y min by 2. In this case, y naught is small h, y max is capital H, y min is 0 by 2, so your small h is capital H by 2. Okay, so that is why you must remember the previous summary or conclusion that I have given. Okay, so if you remember that, it will be easy. Okay, right, next question is, you have another container. Okay, so one more question, we will do it in this model. The question is like this. You have a container of height capital H. Initially, water is filled up to a height of 2h by 3. Okay, initial height. Okay, now you are trying to rotate this. Okay, you are trying to rotate like this. What is the question is, find omega. Okay, I will be very clear. Find omega when. First question is, water starts spilling out. Second question is, okay, find omega when water starts spilling out. That is your first question. Your second question is, water touches the base. Okay, water touches the base. Okay, these are the two questions. Okay, both are different. In both the cases, you are supposed to find out angular speed. Okay, hope you have stopped the video, tried for sufficient amount of time. I will finish off the solution. Observe carefully. So your first question is, water starts spilling out. The condition for water to start spilling out, I will give you first. Observe carefully. So we know that okay, two relations we will be using. What are those? I will tell you. This is Y min, this is your Y max. We know that Y naught is equal to Y max plus Y min by 2. Initial height Y naught is given as 2h by 3. When water starts spilling out, your maximum height is capital H plus minimum height you don't know what is it by 2. From here 4h by 3 is equal to h plus y min. Your minimum height is 4h by 3 minus h means it is equal to h by 3. Okay. Now your minimum height is h by 3, maximum height is h when water starts spilling out. So that means water is spilling out of this container before it is touching the base itself. Okay. In this question, okay, this is the value that I am getting for minimum height. Okay. Now by the time water touches the base, at h by 3 height itself liquid is spilling out. So by the time it touches the base, some of the liquid will actually go out of the container. Till this point liquid will not leave the container. So till this point, what is the volume of liquid means? Area of base into initial height 2h by 3, whatever it is. Okay. Now I did not get omega yet. How will I get omega in this case? What is your equation that you know? Y max is equal to Y min plus omega square R square by 2g. So now your Y max here is h, Y min here is h by 3 plus omega square R square by 2g. Solve for omega, that will give you the answer in the first case. Okay. This is the case when water starts spilling out. Okay, first case, some case A. Okay, next case B. Find omega when water touches the base. Now, when water reaches h by 3 itself, water starts spilling out. Okay, so now what to do next for the next case? I will write. Okay, so pause the video and just copy it down. Okay, if you have any doubts, just let me know. Hope you have understood this. Okay. I am erasing it. Next, now what is that? I will erase this. Now when water touches the base, what is happening I will tell you. Okay, water touching the base. Second bit. Now many people will get confused and they will give wrong answers. You need to be very careful. Now when water touches the base, your minimum height is going to become 0. Now many people, Y max is equal to Y min plus omega square R square by 2g, and what everybody will do is they will directly try to give the answer. Okay, so in this case what is the answer is, okay, just have a look, try to substitute the value. So Y min is how much it will become? Anybody? Okay, think and give the answer. So your maximum height that you have in the liquid is, okay, I hope people have thought, okay, right? So many people, if you are doing Ymax is h plus, Ymin is 0 plus omega square r square by 2g, okay, this is one thing. One more thing is y naught is equal to Ymax plus Ymin by 2. Now Ymin, if you substitute 0, okay, y naught how much you are getting? 2h by 3 here. Ymax capital H plus Ymin by 2. From here Ymin is h by 3. Now what is the difference in both of these cases means this is correct only when liquid doesn't spill out. Okay, so many people will try to substitute this minimum of h by 3 into this equation and then they will try to calculate omega substituting Ymax equal to r, but that is wrong. Okay, this equation is correct as I have written only when, okay, liquid does not spill. So you cannot calculate Ymin from this equation. So you can assume that your Ymax is r only, because even though you decrease the Ymin value, okay, your Ymax will not change. As you keep increasing omega, obviously liquid starts coming down, that Ymin will start decreasing if you start increasing omega, but maximum possible height is only h. Beyond that the container will not be there, so liquid will not have any level or curved surface. So that is why I will just simply keep it as h. So from here omega is 2gh by r square under root. A small part that is pending is this pressure difference, as we are discussing in this lecture. So first let me draw the shape of the tube. So the tube that you have, rotating tube that you have, let us say it is having a length of L and it is rotating with angular velocity omega. Okay, so we are going, what is that I am going to do here, I will tell you now. So here let us say at this point, this is some point A, this is some point B. Now I am trying to calculate the pressure difference between these 2 points. Let us say this liquid container is having a liquid of density rho. Now I am trying to calculate the pressure difference between these 2 points. Now from common sense, first of all, you are supposed to guess on which side the pressure will be more. Okay, so now if you take some small part at some distance x, small mass dm here out of this tube, okay, this tube when it is rotating with angular velocity omega, whenever a body goes in a circle, net force or centripetal acceleration will be directed towards center. So at this point your resultant acceleration will be directed towards center this way. So your dm will be directed towards center like this. So in such a case, okay, your pressure for resultant force to be in this manner, your pressure should be more on right side because your force towards right should be more, and okay, force from the right side should be more. Okay, so here what is my point is, because this dm element, okay, because this dm element, okay, it is going towards going in a circle, your net force is supposed to be directed towards center. I can only keep my pressure value more on the right side. Because of that pressure, force will be more towards left. Your net force should be towards left. So that is why I will write an important point, that is pressure keeps increasing as you keep moving away from axis of rotation. So to make my net force towards center equal to centripetal force, I am keeping more force P plus dP on the right. Because of this is your force towards left, this is your force towards right. Okay, force is pressure into area. So on this rotating liquid column or tube, I am taking a small elemental strip, and I have tried to convince you that as you keep moving radially away, pressure will increase. Okay, now if you take this resultant force on this dm element, which is at some distance x, net centripetal force is, you will be writing it as mr omega square. So if you do that, P plus dP into A minus P into A is equal to dm into x into omega square. Okay, so net force is mr omega square. So P into A, dP into A, PA will cancel off. Okay, so pressure dP into A is equal to dm, mass is area into volume, area times small volume, mass is volume into density, so rho times dV into x omega square. But what is dV means? Area into dx. So dP into A is rho times A dx into x into omega square. A will cancel off. Your pressure dP is equal to rho omega square times x dx. Okay, so your pressure dP is rho omega square times x dx. Now you integrate on both sides. Integral dP is equal to integral of rho omega square times x dx. When x is 0, you will have pressure at left end PA. When x is L, you will have pressure at right end PB. Integral of dx is x, integral of dP is P. So P times lower limit PA, upper limit PB, that is equal to rho omega square times x square by 2 from 0 to L. So that will give you PB minus PA is rho omega square L square by 2. On a rotating liquid column like this, the pressure difference is given by, between the ends it is given by rho omega square L square by 2. Okay, here which end? Right end. Okay, farther end will have more pressure. Left end, okay, the end which is closer to axis will have small pressure. Okay, so this is your high pressure region, this is your low pressure region. Okay, this you must definitely keep in your mind. Alright, now I will erase this. Okay, you just simply copy it down. Now I am going to use this and do some simple applications related to this. So your question is this: you have a U-shaped tube of uniform cross section. And it is rotating with angular velocity omega. From here to here the distance is x1, from here to here the distance is x2. So because of the rotation, obviously your height of in each limb will not be same, it will be different. Okay, so because of this rotation the liquid is at different levels. I told you farther and more pressure, so that is why this side the liquid column will have more height compared to the left one. The question is, this height difference is h. Okay, question is, find h in terms of x1 omega x2. Okay, find height in terms of x1 omega x2. Okay, pause the video, try it, I will discuss the solution. Hope you have copied the question. Try it. Okay, let me continue. So the answer here is, this side if you take it as 1, this side if you take it as 2, this side you mark the point as some pressure P common. Now the answer to this question is, if this height is y, this side the height is y. Okay, in the vertical direction P1 is P0 plus rho g y, P2 is P0 plus rho g times h plus y. Pressure P is equal to P0 plus rho g h formula I am applying. So P2 minus P1. Okay, from this I am subtracting this equation, that will give me rho g h in the vertical direction. In the horizontal direction, very clearly I have told you that as you keep going away farther from the axis, your pressure will be more. So P2 minus PC is rho omega square x2 square by 2. Okay, for a rotating fluid, just now we have seen it is rho omega square L square by 2. So according to that it is rho omega square x2 square by 2. From here P1 minus P common is rho omega square x1 square by 2. Subtract these two. Minus plus minus, plus PC minus PC. P2 minus P1 is rho omega square by 2 times x2 square minus x1 square. Now this P2 minus P1 is rho g h. So rho g h is equal to rho omega square by 2 times x2 square minus x1 square. Rho will go off. H is omega square by 2g times x2 square minus x1 square. Okay, like this you are supposed to calculate your rho value. Okay, right. Next, Your next question is, I will do a big question at once and then with that itself I will cover everything. What is the question is, no, I think the question is like this. You have liquid of density rho here, liquid of density 3 rho, this height is h, this height is 2h, this length is 2h. Okay. Now this is the case when the tube is rotating about this axis. Question is find omega. Okay, so no, I will directly discuss, because if I cut short I will deviate. I will put it this way. I will directly pick the question from the book that I have seen. You have a U-shaped tube on a disc and the disc is rotating. And till here this is point A, this is point B. This height is 8a by 3, this distance is a, this distance is 2a. You have liquid of density rho here. This side the liquid is of obviously more level, it will be there. This liquid's density is 2 rho. Okay, and this is rotating with angular velocity omega. Okay, what is the question? I will tell you. Okay, you are supposed to find out height in B. First question is, questions are find height in limb, second limb. Okay, next, when disc starts rotating, okay, this was without rotation. Without rotation, okay, when there is no rotation, you are supposed to find out height in limb B. When disc starts rotating, okay, shift of interface of liquid occurs by 2a by 3. Okay, so that means this junction of these two liquids of density rho and 2 rho, it is shifting towards right by 2a by 3. Okay. In such a case, find Pb minus Pa at omega. Okay. You are supposed to find out Pb minus Pa, then omega, then force exerted by first liquid on second. Okay. Area of cross section is A. Area of cross section you can take it as capital A or some S. Okay. So your force is pressure into area. Okay. Hope you have got the question. Okay. Now pause the video clip, try the answer. I will start discussing the solution now. The first answer is, you are asked to find height in limb B, right? So look at this. For the first bit, answer is, it is not rotating initially. So when it is not rotating, pressure at bottom is P naught plus rho into G into height is 8a by 3 here. Okay, because of first type of liquid. Now because of second liquid, at same height you will have same pressure, right? So at this point, pressure at B is P naught plus liquid density is 2 rho into G into height in B. Okay, this liquid's density is 2 rho. So if it is some HB, so this is the case. Now initially it is not rotating, so at the same height you must have same pressure. So all these points will have same pressure till here, all these points at the bottom will have same pressure. That means these two are equal. So if you equate, P naught will cancel off, Gg will cancel off, rho G times 8a by 3 is 2 rho into G into HB, rho G 2 ones 2 fours. So your height in B is 4a by 3. Okay, so that means this column that you have here, it will be at a height of 4a by 3. Okay, right? So now your total length of liquid column is, this is 4a by 3, total length of liquid column is 8 plus 4, 12, 12 by 3 it is 4, 4 plus 2, totally 6a. So total length of liquid column is, okay, 8a by 3 plus 4a by 3 plus 2a, totally you are going to get it as 6a. Okay, so your first answer for this bit is 4a by 3 at same height, same pressure. Now next, when disk starts rotating, shift in interface of liquid occurs by 2a by 3 is given, right? So that I will calculate now. Now what is happening is, shift is occurring by 2a by 3. That means from here to here 2a by 3 shift. So this side height will decrease, this side height will increase. So after the shift, what is your new diagram is, this side the height is 4a by 3 plus 2a by 3, that is 6a by 3, totally 2a. This side 8a by 3 minus, okay, this side it is 8a by 3 minus 2a by 3. Okay, so this side the liquid is moving ahead further by 2a by 3. So if it is shifting by 2a by 3, this side the height will become 8a by 3 minus 2a by 3, that is 6a by 3, so totally 2a, it is becoming 2a here, okay, right? And this total it is mentioned as 2a, so 2a minus 2a by 3, okay, 2a minus 2a by 3, that will become 4a by 3. The axis of rotation is here at a distance a, okay. This is your point A here, this is your point B here, okay. So your first bit PB minus PA is asked. So from this diagram it is very clear, PB is P naught plus this liquid's density is 2 rho into G into height is 2a. PA height is P naught plus that liquid's density is rho into G into height is 2a. Your net is 2 2s are 4. P naught will cancel off. PB minus PA is equal to 4 minus 2, it is 2. 2 rho GA is your answer. So pressure difference here is 2 rho GA. Okay. I did not do anything new, I just shifted the liquid, that's all. I am calculating the pressure what you have studied in the starting of this chapter, that's all. Okay, next omega. Now this omega is the trickiest part, okay. So keep this aside, okay. PB minus PA is 2 rho GA, we know it. Now very clearly I have told you pressure difference between 2 points in the rotating container like this. You take some dm element at some distance x. After doing all this, what did we get? dp is equal to rho omega x dx, okay, omega square x, rho omega square x dx. Now pressure difference between these 2 points, integral dp is integral of rho omega square x dx from some x1 to x2. So rho omega square x square by 2 is your pressure difference, right? From here P1, P2 if you take, what did we get? P2 minus P1 is equal to rho omega square times x square by 2, lower limit x1, upper limit x2. Now I will apply this logic. Any 2 points, we took this point as 1, this point as 2, and we wrote P2 minus P1 equal to rho omega square L square by 2. If not, between x1 and x2 points, it is the pressure. Okay, if you look at the previous derivation. Now observe carefully. If I take these 2 points, point A and common pressure P common, here P common and PB, I can write this, that is x1 is A for this part, x2 is A plus 2A by 3, that is 5A by 3. Only for this part of the liquid I will apply this formula, that is, okay, for first this part I will apply PB minus P common is that liquid's density is 2 rho. Instead of rho you have 2 rho here, 2 rho into omega square times, okay, upper limit minus lower limit, okay, upper limit is A plus 2A, 3A whole square, okay, minus, okay, upper limit, because this end is at what distance means, we know that in the this total distance is 2A, so A plus 2A 3A, so 3A whole square minus this end is at a distance of A plus 2A by 3, 5A by 3, so 5A by 3 whole square. In the second part between C and A, PC minus PA is, this liquid is having density of only rho omega square times upper limit minus lower limit. Upper limit PC at a distance of a plus 2a by 3 means that is at a distance of 5a by 3 whole square minus starting distance is a square. Now relax, just simply what is that you are supposed to do, add these two. Okay, if you subtract you will get p common, your force answer is p common into a. To get omega, what is that I will do is I will add these two, pb minus pa is equal to rho omega square times, okay, how much you are getting, 3 square is 9, 9 minus 25 by 9, 81 minus 25, around 56 by 9 I suppose, okay, whatever it is, you take rho omega square out, you simplify, take this pb minus pa, how much you are getting, 2 rho ga, 2 rho ga is equal to rho omega square into whatever term you are getting, that you substitute, rho will cancel off, you will get omega in terms of a, g, everything, you get, that will give you the final answer. Okay, and in this case instead of adding like this, if you subtract you will get pressure, common pressure, your force is common pressure into area. Okay, so with this fluid mechanics is done. Okay, and furthermore we will see in the problem solving sessions. Okay, that's all for this lecture. Thank you.